Oh, good evening, everybody. How's it going? Whew. Just finishing getting things set up now. Bear with me a second. Time's caught up on me. Quicker than I thought it would, to be honest. So, just give me a moment here quickly. And we should be good to go. Oh, okay. I don't actually think I'm registered for the races yet, even. No, I'm not. I should probably do that. Schedule. Myself all nice and properly signed up. Cool. We're all signed up now. Let me just get the combo up as well. Cool. These should be good fun. Hopefully, yeah. We'll see. Just hoping that we can... My main concern is more getting grids, to be honest. We'll see how that pans out throughout the season, but I'm hoping we can keep this going throughout the season. So I kind of throw out all the polls and stuff. Obviously, the polls ultimately don't really mean much at the end of the day, but I was just trying to hedge my bets and see, like, is this something people actually want? Or something people would actually want to do. And, well, we'll see. The actual numbers will come. We'll tell. Still 15 minutes to go, so there's more time to get registered up if you haven't done so already. I'll put a quick extra poll up. Cool. Let's actually get and do a little bit of driving. Get a feel for these cars again. We are fixed setup. 2 12-minute races here for this first build tonight, which is going to be pretty interesting. Yeah, nothing we can really change on this. There are 2 tire compounds we will have to decide between, but off the traction control, because I don't think we'll be needing that, let's be real here. I think that's only really going to serve to slow us down. But we can get nice and warmed up here a bit. Very short qualifying in this series, though. Only 4 minutes I've decided to afford people. Mostly because the lap times are going to be really short, so not really much point in having like a really long qualifying. We could probably bang out like 4 or 5 laps in the qualifying time we have. So we're going to be doing like 30-40 second lap times and everywhere. Or 27 even. Yeah, so basically most of the lap times this season are going to be like sub 30 seconds. A couple will be a little bit longer, but most are going to be like sub 30-second mark. So, yeah, plenty of time to get out there and set a few lap times. I think this seems to be beneficial to go into 6th. A little dabble on the brakes into 5th, and then roll it through the corner. Obviously, the big killer here, as I have kind of alluded to before, is going to be tire temperatures. You can see those right side tires, they're getting pretty toasty. And that's going to vary at different tracks. Different tracks with different banking levels, and different banking levels, different corner radii, and shit like that. It's all going to change how much strain is put on those tires, and that's going to obviously affect how the car hooks up through the corners. It's going to be obviously worse when those tires heat up. The car's going to get tighter, and that's something that you're going to have to think about. Here it's not too bad actually, because the corners are quite generously banked, and they're also generously wide. This here at Iowa, momentum really is the key. It's just trying to complete a lap whilst interrupting your momentum as little as possible. But you can see now, look at that. They've heated up quite a lot now, and so it really doesn't want to start turning anymore as well as it wanted to before. That is something that you will have to keep in mind. Also, this is a D shape as well, so it's a bit of an easier entry into the first corner, or turns 1 and 2, than it is into 3 and 4. So that's another thing you'll have to keep in mind. We'll dabble the brakes, just tap that nose down and punch it out on the exit. The tires heated up now. Track grip is a bit lower, I think, than when I originally set that Ghost when I first tested this combo, so kind of chasing an impossible target here, because it just has more grip than what we'll have now. But we're just getting a feel for the car, how it handles. You can see our tire is not getting any colder. You can mix it up here a bit, though. You can sort of run different lines. Ooh. As I be an idiot. Ooh, I've broken it. Okay, you want to avoid doing that, because that can kill you. I was over-optimistic. You still need to slow down even if you're taking the higher line, but it can give you a bit of a better run out of the corner exit. Just something to keep in mind. How low can this go? 80%. Okay. Well, let's see what that does. Let's also shove the mediums on, just because why not? See how that affects the car also. Same grip level as the last time, which will be interesting to compare. Yeah, medium tires, obviously. More grip, less wear. I'm not sure if tire life is going to be much of a problem here, but the big problem will be, as I alluded to earlier, the tire temperatures. So, that is something that we will need to keep more of an eye on. Some tracks might definitely prefer the medium, some might prefer the hard. This one, I'm not sure. I think tracks like Bristol will definitely be hard tire though. Because of, yeah, that's shorter than this and has much tighter and steeper turns. So you're really putting the tires through their paces around old Bristol. You can see the pace at the moment is quick. Actually, maybe mediums will work out quite nicely here, I don't know. Depends on how they drop. Hard to say. Fair chunk of time on the exit there. There you can see I was keeping up with that ghost car pretty nicely at the beginning. But now I just don't have the grip to do that anymore. And you can see it's really dropping off now. So yeah, maybe not. I think you're really good at managing the tire temperatures. You might be able to give it a shot, but you know, I certainly won't be much good at that. I think hard tires it will be for me. It's really, like, massively overheated. These will probably be good in qualifying, though. That's one thing that will probably be good. Nail the high line. You can see on the exit, because I'm carrying more speed, I'm actually pulling time back on the exit. I'm actually slightly faster into turn 1 here, but I just have no grip anymore on these mediums. So I couldn't run the line. Bummer. Okay, a couple more minutes to register if you haven't already. I think this could be fun. This could be fun, and the more the better. Shimmy out a bit of fuel. We're only doing 12-minute races, so that's too little. I guess like 15 probably. Nope. Today, let's do like 18. Yeah, that'll be fine. I think it's basically time to go, maybe, to hop on over. Let's see. I still have the music up too high. Whoopsie. Which tires do I recommend? I think the hards for this race. The mediums will probably do you fine in qualifying, but the mediums heat up too quickly. So that's kind of the thing you gotta be careful of. Is the tire temperature more than anything. So yeah, I think this will be a hard race. I did just try the mediums, and they were decent for a couple of laps. Like the mediums were quicker, but then they overheated massively, and they fell off a cliff. So not like wear-wise, but temperature-wise, they just couldn't handle the speeds. Marginally annoying sometimes when I open up Content Manager for these servers, it doesn't give me. I have to like reboot it, where it actually gives me the server, but it's not the end of the world. Just close, reopen, and it works. Cool. In we go. Okay, Okay, so what do we got to play with here? Fuels, we can pop that down to about 18. Hard tires, obviously. Traction control off. Chop the brake power down as well. I feel like it's probably not a bad thing to do. We'll see. Not a big grid, but who knows? Hopefully we can put on a bit of a show still, and maybe entice a couple more people in for next week. We'll see. I don't know if running the high line inherently from turns 1 and 2 is beneficial, but 3 and 4 I can definitely see a bit more merits to it. Bit too low. Cross it over the old apron line there. It's put us down massively already. You can see with the way these tires are going, you really want to nail qualifying the first time, because you're only going to get the best of your tires for like that one lap, maybe 2 if you're lucky. Down on the line. Okay, I lost 3 times there. Holy shit. Okay, you can see that on the exit. Oh, we pulled back quite a bit of time there. Oof. Right. Very short qualifying. Get out there and get those laps in. Better, but You're actually carrying a bit of extra speed. Big gamble running a bit of a higher line through here. And cash out on the exit. It worked out. Yeah, but now these tires are too hot to really do anything. I guess just to warn you if you're listening, Michael, qualifying is only 4 minutes. So more heads up on that front. There we go. Massively great, but not terribly off pace. Oh. Okay. No, the tires have gone too much. That's my qualifying run over. We've got plenty of fuel. Yeah, just seemingly cruising. Oof. Final run. All right, 2 12-minute races now. However, quickly, the car doesn't have a clutch, so don't want to net. I need to keep it in neutral unless I want to net myself a penalty. Let's see how this goes. Up the bottom, as we can. Oh, I could come way up the track there. Yeah, I've broken a little bit of a gap out here. It's good. Still very early doors, however. Try and be good on those tires. Otherwise it'll come back to bite me later on. Michael must have binned it somewhere, I think, because he's dropped off quite a bit. Seems to be the line through there. It's interesting. Completely different line through both those corners. Feel like you definitely want to hit the inside more, but on the turns 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 you can kind of ride the middle more. Speed you can carry on the exit. It's just so much better, it seems, than what you would hold by trying to hug the bottom aggressively. Shafted myself onto a lower line here, but they do. I think this first race is definitely going to be a bit of an exploratory one. I don't think anyone here has ever done a full race with this before. So they're going to be feeling out the car, finding out where it sits over a whole race run, seeing where we all sit pace-wise, and a race 2 we get a lot more bunched up. Ooh, we lost Mattia? I think we have. It's not good. I don't think we have. But it's not ideal. Nice, yeah, he's dropped that completely. Oof. Funny actually, this car has a 7th and an 8th gear. I guess they kept them in the race car so that it has minimal changes to the road car, but like at the same time, I mean, I guess maybe if you're going for like a fuel saving strategy they might come in handy, but other than that they're almost entirely useless. I botched that one up quite a bit. We're just not worth turning now. Fine, we can ride this line. It's good. shit, like, we're never gonna go above 6th, even at, like, the higher speed tracks, because 7th and 8th are just too long. It's like Overdrive and Overdrive Plus. It's safe to say at the moment, though, Gamble has not paid off. But we'll see. Maybe I'll have to put a bit more work in to try and convince people. Not have been the best track to start things off on, but I don't know. I'm really sure what would have been the better pick. To be honest, at the moment, my brain is pretty much gone. So I do apologize for not being the most entertaining. Sometimes the easiest thing ever to just sit up here and just chat shit for like 3 hours in a row. Sometimes even more. I mean, we've had ones in the past where I've gone for like 5-6 hours of just chatting pure shit. Ooh, that wasn't great. And yeah, there are some nights there where it's like, ugh, hard to get it going. I'm not loaded with things to talk about. Indy 500 it's soon though. That's something that'll be pretty cool to see. Like one of the only real races that I actually like properly look forward to. Oh, Matthias back in. That's good. Each year. It usually always is pretty fun. I'm hoping the hybrids aren't gonna fuck with the product too much. As the IndyCar season so far hasn't been particularly great. Things considered. I need to be careful. I'm really hooking up these tires now. Yeah, on the road courses so far, it hasn't been great. But, hoping that the 500 will shake things up a bit. We'll see whether or not that's actually true or not, but I'm hoping it will be. It's not even the fact that, like, Alex Palou is winning everything, it's just that there isn't really anything else going on the races. last couple of laps. Race 2 should be interesting there. Yari seems to have picked up some good speed, and I think Mattia's really got some good speed too. But his speed is going to be a bit offset at the moment because he obviously has only just rejoined, so he's going to be on a fresh car pretty much. Because obviously me and Yari are on much more of a worn car. Yeah. There we go. Next one. God, yeah, look at that. Tia closed in like almost a second there. Almost 2 seconds, maybe even. Yeah, look at that. See, look at the revs drops. I'm 6th. Already low revs in 6th. Hit 7th, 8th. I'm basically not accelerating anymore. It's crazy. Whew. Okay. Up, race 2. Reverse grid. See how this goes. Everyone's got a bit of experience now, so this could be pretty interesting. Freshed up cars, reset positions. Here we go. Not the most satisfying car to sound on the limiter, but wasn't sure how close. In hindsight, maybe I should have turned old crew chief on for this, but I haven't turned him on in years, so Tia's making good use of that higher line. Bit on the apron, we're good. Yeah, got a better run off the exit. That's okay. It's actually one. This higher run. Look at that. Oh, I'm a bit too high up here though. Should hopefully be largely okay, but not the most ideal. Oh, look at that. Jesus Christ. Powering right around the outside of Michael. Shows you just how much that line is powerful. Oh, Yari and Mattia might have been getting into each other a bit there. Michael over the apron a bit. It's going to send him up the road. Guess we're back to trying to build a gap again. Oh, why am I going low? I don't know why I'm going low. I am. Ooh, that was nearly the wall. Bloody hell. Rod Michael's getting shimmied to the back of the pack. Nice and smooth when opening up that steering wheel. Spooked by the wall. Yeah, he's running some pretty good laps at the moment though. As I overshoot turn 1 a bit. That's okay. Definitely one of those tracks where you don't really have to... Yeah, it's more about momentum than your overarching line, really. It's more harmful to jump off your line than it is to just stick to the line that you've ended up on. If I tried to force myself down to the bottom here, I'd definitely be slower. Even slower if I was to just stick to my line. Alright, so that's some good speed here. Jeez, I've already baked my front tire though. It's not good. We're still relatively close though. It's much better turn 1 and 2. Scrub that. We're okay. Just leveraging that brake just enough. Bit of turns. Very delicately. Keep it slowed up. Yeah, Mike seem like they're having a bit of a nice battle behind. I mean, yeah, you do break away from those two a little bit. Not hand over fist. Okay, I thought that was going to be worse than it was. In the understeer, but it wasn't too bad in the end. Oh, I kind of shafted myself here into a higher line, but rolling with it. He's really caught up there. As I kind of alluded to earlier, if I force myself onto a different line, I'll just lose more time. So I'm scrubbing way more of that tire. Yeah, it's better. Seems to have broken away a little bit from Michael. Will he be able to make any inroads on the two of us? Who knows? I've done that. Have. Tires are pretty pounded at the moment. Oh, a bit too much throttle too early. Not good. He's got a really good flow going, but Tia's closing up a bit as well. He might have a bit better tires than we do. He's got 4 minutes to run us down, though. Really getting not a lot of turning now. He is closing in. Both of them are. Ran a better exit though. You'll have that moment to pick up the throttle. 3 minutes to go. This is going to be pretty close, I think. Big struggle does seem to be now 3 and 4. I think I've got 1 and 2 down. As long as I can hit the line right. Is closing. Okay. 1:57. BMW is getting bigger. Oh, he's very nearly in the slipstream range, which could prove to be quite deadly. Got 4 more laps to go in this. Will he be able to pose a threat? We'll see. Mattia's fallen off. It's looking to be pretty promising to catch up, but I think he used his tires too much trying to bring down that time. Or my tires are not in a good state. 9.4 on the right front. Oh, it's a great turn 1 and he's there. Put him back out. 2 more laps to go. Wash there. Okay, final lap. It's really closed up now. I think as long as I can hold the high side, he should be able to pass. Be right. Whew. Oh dear. Ooh. Oh. Well, that was a start, I guess. Kind of mixed feelings coming out of that one. Definitely need to try and push, I think, for more. Try and drum up the series a bit more. Be great to get a bit more people on the grid. This race 2? Yeah, it's race 2. Cool. Yeah, Yari was hounding me there, though, at the end. I don't have the race 1 replay, though. It's the one annoying thing with double races. It's very patchy if it actually... very patchiest if it actually grabs the broadcast for the replay for the first race. I don't know why. I guess AC needs like a bit of a reprieve between them, but it didn't. Obviously, didn't quite get enough between them because it just flashes one race to another. Got a pretty good start though. Look at the outside, though. Really pulled around. Oh, yeah, the Amish. I forgot about this. Love it. Let's see. Yeah, he went high again here. I'm just lifting. Okay. I was a bit on the apron there, which wasn't ideal, but I lived. Oh, is he only lifting? Seems so. I guess you theoretically could, but... Yeah, I kind of learned over time that it's actually better to just use the brakes. Kind of helps settle down that front end more. Oh yeah, look at that though. Power of the outside line. I think I just got a better run through in general, yeah, because Michael was really hugging the bottom. And he had to jump on the brakes big time there, but just sweeping round. And he tucks up behind. These two touch, or they just... No, just close. Was that anyone really braking? Huh. Oh no, yeah, he's braking a bit there. I wonder how it would have been if Yari had maybe been able to jump Michael quicker. So he got help. Those two got caught fighting for a couple of laps. It's down under him though. Nice overtake. course, yeah, here we go. You can see the difference between the two lines. A little bit of rubber banding, but Michael was carrying more speed on the exit. Despite the fact Mattia exits the corner just a bit ahead. Same here, kinda. And he gets clear. So Michael will fight it back. Tries. Guess he couldn't quite get the run he needed. Yeah, he really needed the momentum on someone to just shoot up there inside or outside. Depending on what line you really wanted. He hung on for quite a good while though. Definitely probably didn't do his tyres much good. But grid did start to contract up a bit about this sort of middle point. But I don't think it quite fully did. See what Yari was doing. Just lifting into 3 and 4. Much at the same time on the brakes, much earlier on that throttle pickup, which yeah, was kind of pushing him to jump off the throttle a bit on the exits, I think towards the end. Where was he? Yeah, I think he was trying to pick up the throttle a little too early. The helmet's yellow. I didn't realize that. We get really close to the end of. We did quite a lot of laps. Jeez. He got very close, but not quite close enough to really do anything. Two for two, though. Can't really complain too much with that. But yeah, definitely would have. Definitely would have traded that in for more battling. That's where these tracks really shine. It's when you start getting everyone pretty much like tripping over the top of each other. We got a little bit of that at the start of race 2, but it did quite quickly work itself out into the sort of logical positions, as per se. The results. Oh yeah, I didn't see what happened to Michael in race 1, but I don't have the race 1 replay, so can't really, unfortunately. Yeah, I won over Mattia, or over Yari, sorry, then Michael and Mattia unfortunately disconnected in that first race, it seemed. So yeah, that definitely sunk him. He was making some pretty good ground, which was a shame. Obviously, the end pace was a bit hard to tell because, you know, he obviously had significantly better tires than us. But yeah, that lap time was 26.9, 26.9, 26.6. But that was only for like the first couple of laps, so. Much closer pace this time around. Everyone in the 26.8s at the lowest. 32 temps spread across the whole grid. Obviously, that's kind of exacerbated on a 26-second lap time, but that's still pretty good spread, I'd say. Over 27 laps. Oh yeah, 7 amount of laps in both races. Pretty consistent pace. 1 second faster in race 2 to finish. Yeah, pretty much same thing again. Myself, Yari, Mattia, and then Michael, which obviously puts the overall order in the same. Where are we at next week for that? Martinsville. So that's flatter. That'll be interesting. That'll throw a bit of a... Ooh, AC's doing funny things. Okay. That'll throw a bit of a spanner into the works, I think. Change up some things. As to how we have to... excuse me. How we have to sort of approach things. Much more of a forceful track, I guess, than... the more ebbing and flowing of Iowa. Just quickly grab Michael's livery that I saw he posted. Throw that in for the Ferraris, and we can do a little bit of practice. We've got a pretty stacked grid for the Ferraris. Just cool to see. Always like seeing me my filled grids. Not really filled, but populated grids. It's good to see. Shows that there's some value. Cool. Let's get the Ferrari up. Get a couple of laps in. There we go. We've got a few minutes. Haven't really driven this combo. So that's gonna be interesting. Okay, we got soft, medium, and the hard. So gotta keep the mediums on. I don't really know anything else. We're just gonna drive, I guess, and feel it out. Of course, the rear wing. As I sort of mentioned before, the rear wing on this car, we don't have any adjustments for it. We don't have any adjustments for the front wing either, but the rear wing's the main attraction here, because I scoot across the... I don't think anything changes on the front. As you can see, the rear wing is... It's weirdly dependent on our inputs. It's not exactly... So, like, I lift off the throttle, it's still open. I get on the brakes, it'll close. I was too late on the brakes there. But if I push the throttle down, it will push itself more open. See, if I just roll through the corner, it'll stay largely closed until I start picking up the throttle. Which means that we do have a degree of control over our rear downforce. It's kind of change how you want to approach getting on the throttle in this car, because it can be quite oversteery if you light it up too early. But it could also be quite understeery if you're too cautious. So you gotta... It's about finding that balance, which I think is going to be interesting. Engine raw, good old V12. So I think it's V12 in this. Might not be. If I remember correctly, the standard 599 was really powerful, so it probably is. It's either a V12 or like a massively tuned up V8 or V10. Big V engine that do big power number anyways. It sounds pretty nice as well. I feel that slide coming out of those corners though. Didn't even actually set a proper lap time here. These brakes. Oh dear. Bit of shell shock coming from like feather braking in the BMW to just having to slam the brake pedal here. I do appreciate the traction control on this car though. Let's keep it a bit more in line. Oh, shit. Okay. There's definitely some smaller... There's not a lot you could change with the setup on this car, actually. There's not a lot of options you get. But I think there should be just enough to target just the right places. Help get a bit more traction out of this car. You can see from Pro Tires that we can make some improvements to the tire pressures. Just going. So I think we can shuffle. What's that? Shuffle a couple of PSI off these rears. Maybe one off there as well. Do this for now. Fuel? How are we doing? 21 minutes, that should be good enough. Oh. Back at the start. The toe. I'm gonna try and take out that rear toe. Don't really want that around. Hey Adam, how's it going? Brake bias, you're probably bored pushing the brake bias a bit further forward. ARBs, leaving those as they are for now. I think we'll see what this does to the car and make further changes from there. Traction control settings we have 9. YouTube keeps rejecting and accepting your vote. So I mean I'm gonna have like 100 votes. Ooh. I was having a weird problem actually. I wasn't even sure if I'd be able to start the live stream tonight because when I was on the like control panel, it was like an error has occurred. Please try again. I was like, what? I'd like created the live stream and that like popped up a couple of times and then it just went away. So I don't know what was going on there. Feeling a lot better though. This car just want to flow a lot nicer through the corners. Yeah, look at the ghost understeering off like a chump. Oh, I'm gonna understeer off up here like a chump. Never mind. The real chump is behind the wheel. He never left. Braking is not particularly great in this thing though. Something they will need to keep in mind. Quite like how slippery this thing can be though. Really sets itself apart from other like track toy cars because you get on that throttle and it kind of just, you can actually like with a lot of track toy cars, they're really understeering. That's kind of one of the things I find pretty common about them, is they're really understeering. And so you try and push them out of a corner, they don't really want to rotate. They kind of just go straight, which isn't very fun. I assume if you're like a 50-year-old man and it's your £2 million Joy toy, then I guess you'd probably find it a bit more fun. Also, because you probably don't nerd out about sim racing and stuff. But, you know, this is rather unique in the sense that it does just kind of put your foot on the throttle and just kind of go out. But it is also very strange how the action works. Kind of something that I'm going to have to get used to. It does seem like, it does largely seem to just mesh well with the driving, but I feel like there probably are circumstances where it's more open than I'd want it, more open or closed than I want it to be. I don't know exactly. I'm quite liking this though. I got the with the setup tweaks. They're pretty minor, but they seem to have made quite a nice bit of difference. Make the car a bit more comfortable. Might try pushing in just a couple more clicks of rear camber. See if that maybe gives me a little bit more traction on the rear. It is a bit slippery sometimes, but I don't think it needs much. Or just figuring out what the fuck the braking zone is for turn 1. Oh. How's race 1? It was okay, but definitely need to try and pull some black magic to try and drum up interest, because the turnout wasn't particularly great, especially compared to the turnout of Monday's race and this race coming up now. I kind of knew it was a gamble, but was hoping that, you know, maybe would have performed a little better. Hey Slayer, how's it going? I've noticed that this guy's hands are like barely on the steering wheel. I don't know if you noticed when I turn, look. His thumb's like over it, but his like fingers are kind of like out wide. Which feels really weird. I don't really like driving like that. I'm putting all of it in, kind of putting like all of it on your thumbs really. It's not. Like having a bit more of a third like class. Not like a death grip obviously, but I think I do sometimes unintentionally death grip the wheel, but not much. Mostly keep a pretty loose hold. I mean, flashbacks of even worse mods. Oh yeah, I've seen mods where like it completely clips through the steering wheel, or just doesn't work at all. His hands are just like down somewhere. Oh, okay. Yeah, some people just don't give a shit about the details in some mods. I'm actually going to bump that up to about 1.2. I'm going to see what that does for us. Hoping that makes it a little bit better. But it's server time, so we're going to have to find out on the server. Once content manager decides it wants to get the server. There we go. Cool. How many did we get in the end? 10? That's not too bad. Not quite as much as Monday, but
Your skin has been uploaded.
I can't really complain with those numbers. Those are best numbers I think I've maybe gotten in a bit. Not by a massive margin, but improvement's an improvement. Hopefully people will like this car and stick around. Because this was also kind of a bit of a gamble. It's a bit of a random car that, like, you don't really... I don't think anyone really touches that much. I certainly didn't. They used it for the Ferrari esports thing, though. The only reason I know that is because I got the Ferrari esports pack by doing what basically everyone else did and signing up for Ferrari esports and not actually doing it. So yeah, I got the esports liveries, but like they're kind of they're just liveries, so. But obviously the main draw of that pack was the 2 extra cars, which were basically just back ports from ACC. And they kind of sucked. So it wasn't really worthwhile getting that pack, to be honest. But hey, free content is free content. I'm the biggest fan of how it's technically... I'm fucking this up massively. Went off one corner and it just rolled into the next and the next. I wasn't really a big fan of how it's like technically official, like extra official content. Like it does count. I had to redeem it on Steam as like a DLC, I'm pretty certain. It's not just download some content and plop it in the folders. But like the only way you could get it was through registering for the Ferrari esports stuff. Again, didn't really miss out on much by not getting it. The content in it is pretty rubbish. It's mostly just a few liveries for some Ferrari cars and a couple of crummy ACC backports that aren't very fun to drive or very useful at all. But, you know. I like me complete the games. It's always kind of annoying knowing when there's content available, like official content available that you don't have access to. Even if, like, you're never gonna touch it. It's just kind of principle. I also thought the 488 challenge might have been cool, but then I got it and I drove it and I was like, wow, this car sucks. It just understeers everywhere. I don't know if anyone else here has the Ferrari pack, though. That's another problem as well. It's because it's pseudo-official content, and the ways you get it are kind of awkward. It's like, you can't really use the content for any online stuff, because, like, who the fuck has it? You don't know. Like, even if I did like the 488, it's like, everyone else needs to have it. And most people probably don't. Then again, just share files by that point. Yeah, you could, but like, you know, I don't know if that would go down so well if I was like, oh yeah. If I presented that to like the boss man, say, for example. I don't think it would go down so well in that context. Or for something like, I don't know, maybe like LFM or something. Then again, though, official real-life series content for esports series is in AC is definitely a can of worms. At least Ferrari had the initiative to go to Kunos and be like, hey, you know you want to. Because the basically all the other ones, like the TCR series, was just a rip job. The ETC, or the Euro Truck Championship, was also kind of iffy as well. When she by minus feasible time doesn't seem to be on my side. I don't know. Nobody else is commenting. I don't think OBS looks good on my end. No dropped frames. Which in Reddit forums to share unofficial DLCs. People want to find out. Yeah, obviously. But, like, I don't really have anything against that, as per se, in some regards. But at the same time, like, when you're trying to use it for more, like, official things, it gets a little iffy. Like, I know the average Joe doesn't really care, but, like... sometimes you gotta be more careful about these things. Like, I'm an admin of a relatively large Discord server to do with, a series of arcade games, and... as you probably know. And... you know, in there you get, like... obviously, we have a hard and fast rule that says, like, no piracy, because the Discord TOS, stuff like that. But you get people in there all the time being like, oh, but, like, you know, Sega aren't gonna do anything, so why don't you just do it? Like, you know, we're all doing it anyways, so, like, why not just post it? And it's like, not read the room. Like... trying to, you know, we want the community to stay alive, not put it at risk for pointless risk, really. Personal opinions on the matter don't really change what TOSs say and the likes. It's the proof there. Use upper turn off the browser, built an ad blocker. YouTube throttles the page, fix it. Get on mobile, yeah. Yeah, I don't like sharing. I don't like sharing content through Discord. Period. If it's like somebody's like want something specific, then I will. But like publicly share using Discord as like a file hosting platform is awful. But so many people do it. But the problem is, as well, is that, like, if you do that and then present people an alternative, people say no because, well, they're already on the Discord server and they're like, oh, it's just easy, it's right there. See those links, I just skip it, yeah. I kind of do too, to be honest. Nice, I've been on the mediums this whole time in quali. Oh well, it's fine. More practice for the race, really, which I think is going to be the main meat and potatoes. Front right does seem to be cold, though, so I doubt heating tires is going to be a problem. It's just trying to make sure that rear end stays in line around there. Did you lose frames? Nope. Unless I did in the game and just didn't notice, then no. Nothing that I noticed. Which is not good. Not good if YouTube's having a mare and everyone watching the stream is gonna lag out. Do you think I could claim compensation for YouTube for the, like, 0.1 of a pence of ad revenue I'd be generating them? Still have that, like, £1 in my AdSense account from all those years ago. So you go, I made it. It was all downhill from there. No one will notice if there's no one to notice, yeah. I mean, it's the good old... If a tree falls in a silent forest, did it really fall, or something like that. Oof. They lost, like, nearly a tenth there, holy cow. Could have bought a car that pound, I wish. It's crazy, though. I was looking... I found an article that talked about the cheapest cars you can buy in the UK, right? I'm 7th. Ooh. Cheapest cars you
Some
can buy.
skins are missing, but press the restart button to download the new ones.
Okay. Thanks, boss man. We'll wait till I inevitably fuck this lap up, and we'll go and get him. We're almost 3 temps up at the moment. 4 temps almost, actually. Yeah, cheapest cars in the UK, right? And... the cheapest car in the UK is still nearly £15,000. Which is madness. Because if you consider that car hunt I went on earlier on in the year, my max budget that I had set myself was £15,000. And with that money on the used market, I could buy almost anything. Like, almost anything. Of course, you know, wear and tear and all that lot. No warranty and shit like that, but like... you know, that only adds up to so much. And like, a lot of these cars were pretty clean that were available for those prices. And, you know, I wasn't really looking at normal cars. If I was looking at, like, more ordinary cars, then I could have, you know, I would have been absolutely overwhelmed. But I was looking for, like, a very special set of cars that I had the feeling could be fun to own and drive. And even then, I was still inundated with options within that budget. But what can £15,000 buy me on the new car ladder? A base model Dacia Sandero. And that's about it. Everything else is more expensive. It's crazy. Like, new cars just aren't worth it. They're too expensive. Okay, we're losing time here. See if I can... Hits, check the fuel, we're good. Quickly restart. Try again. But yeah, it's like how can you justify buying a brand spanking new car? Especially when you could buy used ones from dealerships that are only a couple of years old, that are significantly cheaper, and still come with all the warranties and stuff. Was someone using one of the... Oh yeah, Robert's got one of the esports liveries. Cheaper for now? No, it's always going to be cheaper than a new car. New car prices just don't make sense. I saw a thing from like a motor show in like the 70s, and like to buy a base model Escort wasn't even gonna cost you, like a Mark 1 Escort wasn't even gonna cost you £1,000. Which, even adjusted for inflation today, that's only like £11,000, £12,000. You know, for a fully fledged like Escort, you know, you could go way worse than that. But nowadays, you know, that money's not even getting you the bottom of the bargain bin in terms of new, which is insane. Well, mixed tire compounds. I'm going to stick with the mediums. I felt like I was running pretty well on those. And it looked like the tire wear was ramping up a bit. No horn. No. No. See how this goes though. Cosmate, these days aren't planned to last long. That ship's 5 years old, and conveniently after 5-year warranty, things are starting to act up. Yeah, that's the thing. They want you to buy the car on like these finance schemes, and they also want you to like... It really wouldn't surprise you if they want you to start treating cars like you treat phones. We just kind of like, you know, like people go on like rolling contracts on like phones, and every time their contract runs out, they just get a new phone. Probably doing the same with cars. Pay off the car, get a new one. Which honestly, I felt like that sucked for phones, and I feel it's only even worse for cars. Because it essentially treats them as... Oh, Michael's gone off onto the grass, unlucky there. Effectively treats them as completely disposable, really. Yeah, in the gravel a little bit there. Oh, Jim's in the gravel. He kind of got spooked by Yari. It's kept him out there. Unfortunate for him. That's great qualifying. It's going to drop back quite a bit now. a used car now and you won't know how long the things start acting up. It's just the nature of used cars. Nobody wants to sell them in perfect condition. It's not entirely wrong, but also not entirely true. Obviously, the reasons for people selling cars varies wildly. And, I mean, you know, when new cars don't last very... Well, Robert's going for it. When new cars don't last very long, then, like... You know, is that really much of a factor? Not to mention, finding parts for older cars is usually cheaper. There's a lot more examples out there and a lot more parts available. And not as much electrical doodads as they have on newer cars. That's part of the problem as well, is the ravenous push for electrification in the car industry. You know, the industry just wasn't ready for it. It's still not really ready for it. And, like, some of these, like, really, quote-unquote, like, some of the cheapest new cars you could buy, they are hybrids out of the box. Or in some cases, even an EV. But, like, if that was an ICE, just a pure ICE instead, you could probably knock a fair few thousand off the price of that car, but it's not what the industry is pushing for nowadays, so... Oh, Robert got deep there. Mihao stormed away though, holy cow. Atira and Mika are carving their way through the field though. They're likely going to be a problem in a bit. They got a bit too early into that corner. So I mean, like, with the used car thing, though, is like, you can literally, nowadays, especially because of just people, you know, trading in cars constantly, you can literally go to a dealer and buy cars that are basically new from them. But they're like a couple of years old. They don't have many miles on them. They might have some little imperfections here and there because they have been owned and used. They're not completely fresh. But they'll be like a 99% car, basically. And yet it'll be like half the price of buying it new. Because, you know, nobody wants to buy these cars at the prices that they're being sold for new. Because, well, they are a rip-off, really. They're not worth the money at all. Maybe they're not here. Used cars are expensive, especially newer cars. I mean, I'm not saying they're exactly cheap still, but they are like significantly cheaper than they were when they rolled off the factory. I mean, of course, yeah, this can vary from country to country. And it depends on, like, government rulings and taxes and stuff like that. So it is a bit murky. It's not quite as black and white, but, like, from the way I see things here, and I see in a fair few other places, like, new cars in general just are too expensive and aren't really worth the money. You know, the small, affordable car is dead. I think the cheapest car you could buy in America is like $18,000 or something like that. Granted, it doesn't seem like too bad of a package. For what you get for that money, but like, still, that's... That could be like some, like, almost... It could take someone a couple of years to save up for that. Unless they wanted to get it on finance, which... I know a lot of people do these days, but... You know, they shouldn't have to. Bear is pretty slow through these sections. Kind of stacking me up a bit here. Those two breathing down my neck as well. And I would say in the... over here, we are pretty lucky with a very diverse and I'd say pretty good used car pool. I don't think there are many other countries where you can get such cars for such money, but like, you know, that's talking about like specialty cars, like mine or others. You know, old cars, sportier cars, and whatnot. More specialized cars and stuff. Oh, I've gone really deep here. I just bombed it into second as well, which didn't help either. Nico's right there. What's his play gonna be? To jump out. It's a Batia with the with the HP livery. He's embraced Ferrari's new sponsorship. Oh dear. Read that in a minute. Gotta make sure I survive getting through this section. Ooh, Miko's getting a bit ship-shape behind Robert. Ooh, bit of over-rotation there. We'll get there. Check that. Duster, for example, used models will let you go for the same price as the base model of the current gen. Huh. But how are those models? I guess that's still probably quite a lot more than they probably should be. So we're talking about between 6 and 9 millions. I have no idea how much that is relatively, but some of these models are like 2 generations older. I don't know. I mean, in your specific case, there might be some... I don't know what the laws and taxes and shit are over there. So maybe there is some degree of like subsidy on newer cars. I don't know. Try and encourage you to buy new. Robert's really slow through that. Doesn't really change my original point, though, where I do still think new cars are hilariously overpriced for what they are. I mean, I can't imagine what it's like in countries where used cars are also hilariously overpriced. Because that basically means you just can't really afford a car, and in a world that's still very heavily dependent on them, it's not great. Pound equals 480 HUF. That's quite a lot then, isn't it? 12,500 to 18,750 pounds. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. Holy cow. That must sting a lot. To buy both new and used. Jeez. What if there are some kind of like laws or taxes that maybe affect that? Or if, well, if people are just greedy, I don't know. Want to Google translation or calculation. Yeah, the sort of exchange rates that Google gives, yeah. That's the best data we have to go on, so. Fucking balled that up pretty big time. Keeping Mattia behind, which is good. I have lost ground for repair, which is bad. Because I think I am a little bit quicker than he is. I can be if I actually get my act together. 27% VAT, ouch. I think we have like 20% though, so I'm surprised it would be that much more. How much importing would cost in those countries, though. I'd have to assume there'd have to be some, like, laws around that, right? Otherwise, it probably, like, if they're that expensive, it might work out cheaper to just, like, import them. Import some cars. So I would assume that local, you know, the government wouldn't really like terribly much. And knowing this world, instead of, you know, making things more affordable, we'll instead just ban ways or heavily punish ways of making things cheaper because, yes. God forbid we make this world a better place to live in. Ooh. Open that slipstream range. If I can cash in down here a little bit. Wrap exit though. Isn't gonna help. See, I'm not really gonna tow him in here, I don't think. Ooh. Ooh. I was thinking I wasn't going to get it stopped then. Luckily I did. Really sliding their ears up out of some of these corners though. Nico's not that far ahead of Yari though, so I think as long as Michał keeps it on the road, I think he might have this in the bag. Fumbling this section big time. Love to see it. Still weird that the brake lights are like down at the bottom. I don't really know, but Ferrari was like, yeah, that's where we should put them. I don't know what the upper vents are really used for. Oh no! Bastard. Just a little bit of over rotation on one of those fucking curbs, man. That's all it took. Turn indicators on this thing? No. Maybe on the actual car it was like that as well, I don't know. Wouldn't put it past Ferrari to do something weird like that. Alright, well, I guess I need to hope that those two get into a bit of a mess. I've been 4th, I'm now going to be 6th, most likely. I think this should probably be the final lap. Too bad though. Yeah. I think this is we went off train, now that feeling is gone. Fuck you. You know, it might actually get another lap here. Or not, I don't know. But he is. Actually, no, he's not quite all over him. Yeah, no, I think we have got an extra lap, okay. Works out. Oh, they're both on the soft ahead. That's interesting. I'm actually running faster than Robert, and he's on a softer compound. Maybe his tires have gone off by this point. I don't know. But I think I was pretty much quicker than him largely throughout. It's only those first few laps and he was in my slipstream, I think. I don't really know how big the pace delta is because I didn't really run the softs. Just kept it on the mediums. Right on him though. Let me try and make a move. Oh, he's gone off into the dirt a bit himself. Just a bit wide. He was just trying to give it some. Try and close up that gap. This car doesn't... When you're close to another car, this car doesn't... Fuck. Oh, this car doesn't have a clutch pedal, no. Uh-oh. I wouldn't have caught those two anyways, but just rubbed a little bit of salt in the wounds. Yeah, win that in the end. He did. 7 seconds, damn. Racing on softs is hard. It seems like the softs might have worn out a bit more than people were hoping for. They didn't seem too bad though of a choice. But I guess if you got caught in traffic, then probably hurt more. I was in traffic for pretty much all of that race, and my tires were pretty okay still at the end. So all things considered. Ooh. Like that. Hello, Mihao. Congratulations on the win. That was, you shot off from the start. Never look back. Get forward. Went after a long time, yeah, congrats. Went to the... I think everyone was pretty well behaved. The start. Jim's POVs. He is in the lead. Pretty close. Oh. Damn. Definitive on the brakes there. Jump to the front. Never look back. Oh. I think Michael got a little bit spooked there. Sent him off. Just unlucky. It's pretty decent qualifying. I just noticed the X's like trail off. Got to change gear. Oh. Ooh. Tripping over each other back here. Good over to the 6 sorry, I swear I wasn't brake checking you. Nah, he was totally brake checking. Never trust him. Yeah, Jim got very unlucky here. Yeah, just a bit on that curb, bit wide. Then I think he was trying to come back on, but yeah, it's kind of wide because he didn't want to come across Yari, and that left him stuck out there. Rubber. Maybe these guys so I'll actually be fighting a bit more, I think. Fun fight, second to last lap. Make sure to take a look at that when we get around there. I feel like this livery needs more HP logos. I don't know about you. Ooh. Nico, very decisive. Ooh. What that look like from, that was a bit overcooked, I think. Oh yeah, definitely overcooked. But never mind, it didn't work out. He went out onto the gravel. Massively overcooked. Oh, wrong way. Yep. Oof. bear dived up to the inside of me. Didn't quite get it done though. Just carry more speed out on the exit. But me and him were pretty much glued to each other this whole race. Tia going for a move on Rob. Not the easiest track to overtake at Mugello, but oh, cautiously making his way past. Trying to surprise himself. Brown moment, I will turn. Oh, Rob got up again there. Missed that. I think he did the same as... Oh no, he was just a bit too deep. Oh, a little contact there of Henry on the rejoin. Hanging on until the final chicane, almost got a second ahead. So next up was full throttle. The chicane got 10-second time penalty. Oh. Yeah, I gave myself a penalty on the final lap as well. Speaking of brown moments, there was one moment where I thought I was actually going to kill Rubber. I got really close to him under slipstream and I was like, uh-oh, like... I'm not stopping. This is bad. But luckily the car just kind of gripped itself up and got itself stopped before my front bumper met his rear. Yeah, braking on this car is not the greatest. It's not too bad. But it's something you do have to keep in mind. You really have to hammer that pedal and keep it hammered. Otherwise you're kind of you're not stopping. This might be where a bear gets past. Oh yeah, I feel like this car without ABS would be impossible. I don't think there were there multiple settings for the ABS? I have no idea. I left it on the default. I know there's 9 traction control settings, but here getting really wide here. I think that's gonna... well, not quite. Oh. No, he holds it. Nice. Yeah, I think I was using like TC3 or 4, whatever the default is. I was pretty happy on that, actually. These two were going at it. These two back here, Rob and Michael seem to be going at it as well a bit. Go back and look at them, because I'm pretty certain Binko does make a pass. By the time they... ooh, maybe here. On the outside. Pops open that wing. Ooh, a bit wobbly on the curb. Yeah, it was a pretty decent crowd, yeah. Oh, he's gonna do it again. He keeps it this time on Rob, where he blew the corner massively on that Rob to swing back past. Pretty much side by side down here. That's the head. He beats him on the braking. Pretty much same story up ahead as well. Robert got a really nice slipstream on me. Down the straight. And then just outdid me on the brakes. Simple stuff. Sealed that deal. Where's Michael? Right behind Rob. What happened? Oh, that's the wrong button. Oh no, overcooked it. Unlucky. Hey, you're really close though. Just a bit too eager. down to the bank. Okay. And those two began catching up. I've cooked it a few times. Did it kill me? Yeah. Bit of rubber banding here, but textbook from Miko. Got it done. Tia thought he could take his piece too. Could not. Had to settle for just staying behind me. He kind of got stuck there, actually. I was kind of surprised by that. I guess maybe the softs were heating up or something. I don't know. I don't know what the softs would have been like at this sort of point. Yeah, Miko shot off to catch Robert. Riaz were dead last 4 or 5 laps. Oof. It's nice and cleanly passed. Robert is still in the slipstream. Yeah, I saw there was a reasonable amount of wear on the mediums after a few laps, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go at the mediums. Lifted on what I thought was the last lap, but wasn't. Oh yeah, he crashed into the back of Robert here. He was surprisingly slow through this corner. I think he just, yeah, I think he overcooked it. So he had to overcorrect. And I was like, whoop. I guess his softs might have been wearing out a bit by now. He did pull away a little bit, and then I sort of... pulled in more. Because Miko catches up to Yari. But okay, last laps, and he made the FL 47.4, but over braked right-hander for the chicane end of the lap. Oof. Does he get him? Not quite. Let's see. Where does he get it? That's a mediums, yeah. Yeah, I think on the mediums, the tire wear was pretty fine. I guess, yeah, some of the soft runners will Miko dived out, but then he was like, no. Didn't guess, oh, but Yari, nope, held it, okay. Thought he might have overbraked himself, but he didn't quite. Just the lap right nearly killed Robert, though. I think this might have been. No, not this one. It's actually pretty fine. Jump forward a bit. Quite a lot of stuff going on in this race, which is good. It's good to have a race that's a bit more lively. Jump to the outside. Oh, easy, underbraking. I think, yeah, it's just that here, yeah. Ooh. You can see, like, the car, like, isn't really slowing down, but then it kind of reaches the point where it suddenly starts slowing down a lot better. And I was like, oh, phew. Otherwise, I was totally going to go into his rear end and just wipe him clean out. Yeah, Miko pulls away from Yari. And where did I blunder it? It's going so well. I was holding this position quite nicely. And I was challenging Robert. Didn't quite, obviously never quite made the move. But then, here, yeah, there we go. That was it. Just that little scrape on the curb gave me just a little bit of over-rotation. And that was enough to just keep the car not settled. Most T1 overtakes from outside, yeah. I think it's because you can hold your momentum better on the outside. Yeah, that just threw enough to throw me off. Into the dirt. And that sort of threw me back. Let's see. Michael and Lupa. They had a pretty good battle. So let's see what went on here. Ooh. Trying to get in the inside there. Not quite enough space. He's looking. He's gonna go for it. And a little bit of overbraking. That puts him on the outside, which works out. Yeah, being on the outside also puts you on the inside for this corner. Ooh, a little bit of grass. I think he was just being a bit... giving a bit too much space. Got him clear, though. See, where does this go wrong, though? He made it sound like something went wrong. All wheels off. He's getting away quite nicely. Oh, I see that now. Big lift. Then you're like, oh shit, wait, the race isn't actually over. At least you realized quickly. I guess then I missed the bit you were talking about then. Does it happen like right here? Ooh, pretty close to Rob. A little bit of curb there. Yeah, just couldn't quite get him. I actually fucked up on the last lap as well. Yeah, what happened to Mattia up here, actually? He got way wide. He was all over Robert. I guess he just overcooked it a bit here, I think. Oh, yep, there you go. A bit out in the race after the double right, I went too deep. Ah, okay. I'll go back and look. Yeah, I got myself a penalty here, because I bounced off of this curb, and I was like, fuck it. I just straighten the car out and just pray that it's pointing the right way. It was a bit too far over to the right. And so that gave me a justified 10 seconds as well. Crazy. So I just had to let it roll here. I wasn't going to catch those two anyway, but it wasn't really what I wanted either. Let's see. Pretty close here. I'm guessing you're saying it's here. Ooh, well, hey. Speedy recovery, though. Guessing that's behind. It's ooh. I think you caught back up, didn't you? Had to make a mistake somewhere. Or was it just speed? Guess it was just speed. And you got past. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. I don't think Nico caught me out. No, nowhere close. He was gone. Checked out. Good stuff. Looking forward to next week's. Yeah, that was pretty. That went a lot better than that. Oh, I love it. Close the replay. Game crashed. Thank you. Thank you, content manager. Yeah, honestly, yeah, that race was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I was kind of holding some reservations towards this car. I was worried that it might not have quite worked out the way it thought it was in my head, but no, that was good. Fun to drive, and you know, allowed for some nice racing here and there. Of course, yeah, Mihao stormed off to the win. Miko 2nd, Yari 3rd, Robert 4th, Mattia 5th, myself 6th, Jim 7th, Rob 8th, Michael 9th, and Hanu in 10th. Ooh, yeah, just 2 tenths off on that fastest lap. So yeah, he didn't need a lot to get it. $48.0 for Mattia, 48.4 from Robert. What was mine? 48.8, okay. Bit of shuffling around. Did kind of settle down a bit more towards the later laps. Still a few position moves here and there. I did kind of the sort of middle point here. Settled down after the chaos at the start. Everyone's shuffling around. Pretty clean though. Only 2 incident points for Hanu and... Well, only 1 apiece for Hanu and Rob. Pretty clean. Overall point standings, obviously, exactly the same. Where are we at next week, though? Oh, Riverside. We're at the spike layout, which will be interesting. It's not quite the layout we run on Monday. It's a bit of a 50-50, which should be interesting. There's a really tight corner in there, though, which will be interested to see how that goes. Hopefully it's not gonna be death, but we won't know till we get there. But yeah, then Imola, Sebring, I think Monza, and then Daytona. Round things off. Kind of waving between Italy and America because, yes. It was good though. It was good. Hopefully everyone else did enjoy that as well. Just now need to try and drum up participation for the BMWs. Not sure how I'm going to achieve that, but it's worth a shot. I think that could also be a lot of fun if we could get a bit more of a competitive grid going. But at the end of the day, don't obviously want to force anyone. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have for the time being. Don't really, unless anyone has anything they want to bring up. I think I've largely said my piece. Thanks for the votes on the poll as well. I can see those. I'll leave that running still just till I wrap up. So why not? Yes, good to see. Be taking that in mind. Yeah, other than that, we'll be running Monday, and obviously these races today. Don't know where we're at again on Monday. Here, where are we at? So Thompson Road on Monday. Ooh, that'll be juicy. Then Martinsville, which I think will be pretty good, and then Riverside Spike, which I think will also be pretty good. So yeah, it should be an action-packed week next week. Be sure to check out Bunny, Michael, or whoever's streaming on Monday for their views on that race. But yeah, I think I'm just about done here. So yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks to those who came out and chat. Thanks to everyone who came out and raced. And I'll see you all around next week. Adios.